Al-Kaka set out to return to Ali with this hopeful reply. While he was still in Basra, several delegations from the city reached Ali at Dhikar. They confirmed the same message. The people sought only reconciliation. The thought of fighting had never crossed their minds. When Al-Kaka arrived and delivered the formal reply, Ali, ever the cautious leader, sent 2 other men to verify the news. They returned, confirming, "The people truly desire peace. The situation is exactly as Al-Kaka reported." Joy and relief swept through Ali's camp. The prospect of unity filled every heart with celebration. Ali moved his army from Dhikar toward Basra and camped directly facing the forces of the people of Basra. Both armies were drawn from the same tribes, Mudar, Rabia, and Yemen. When the 2 sides settled in, a remarkable scene unfolded. Men of Mudar camped across from their kinsmen of Mudar, Rabia beside Rabia, Yemenis across from Yemenis. Soldiers began crossing the lines, talking, reminiscing. No one wanted to fight. Their only conversation was of reconciliation. Finally, Ali, Talha, and al-Zubayr met in person. They confirmed everything the envoys had discussed, reached full agreement, and parted that evening with the firm intention of formalizing the peace. Word of the accord spread through both camps. Every soul went to sleep believing that peace was finally at hand. That night, the masses slept in joy and relief. But for the conspirators, the killers of Uthman, the followers of Ibn Saba, it was the worst night they had ever endured. Peace would mean their deaths. They met in frantic consultation. "The people have reached an agreement. The intent of both sides regarding us is now identical. If they reconcile with Ali, it will be at the cost of our lives." Under the cover of darkness, the infiltrators embedded in both armies began a sinister plan. Those in Ali's camp slaughtered their own comrades. Those in the camp of Talha and al-Zubayr did the same. When the soldiers awoke to the swords in the dead of night, each side assumed the other had broken the peace and launched a surprise attack. In the chaos and darkness, the 2 armies became hopelessly entangled in a battle neither had wanted. Talha and al-Zubayr rushed out, desperately trying to calm the masses, crying, "O people, O people," but their voices were lost in the frenzy. Ali did the same in his own camp. Ka'b bin Sur, may Allah be pleased with him, came to Aisha and urged her, "Go to the people, they are dead set on fighting." She was placed in her palanquin atop her camel and went out calling to the crowds, yet her voice too was drowned by the din of battle. Then Ka'b bin Sur stepped between the clashing lines, holding the Quran in his right hand, and proclaimed, "O people, I am Ka'b bin Sur, the judge of Basra. This is the book of Allah. Come and let us be judged by it and act according to its word." The conspirators, positioned at the front of both armies, feared the people would heed his call. They showered him with arrows and killed him where he stood, the Quran still clutched in his hands.
With Ka'b dead, they turned their arrows on Aisha's camel. Aisha, in absolute shock, could not believe anyone in the Prophet's nation would dare shoot at the mother of the believers, especially when her only goal was reconciliation. As arrows struck the palanquin, she cried out, "O my sons, fear Allah! Remember Allah and the day of judgment!" But in the chaos, no one heard. Realizing her voice was lost, she raised her hands and prayed, "O Allah, curse the killers of Uthman and their accomplices!" The people of Basra joined her cry, their voices rising into a roar that reached Ali's ears across the field. When told what was happening, Ali replied, "And I too pray against the killers of Uthman. O Allah, curse the killers of Uthman and their accomplices. May Allah curse them in the plains and upon the mountains. The war blazed hotter. The focal point became Aisha's palanquin, now bristling with arrows like a hedgehog. The army of Basra formed a human shield around her camel, and the fighting there reached its most savage peak. Every man who stepped forward to take the reins was cut down. Ali realized the battle would never end while Aisha remained in the storm. He summoned a group of his men, including Muhammad bin Abi Bakr, Aisha's own brother, and ordered them to hamstring the camel to bring it down safely. They reached the animal, cut its hamstrings, secured the palanquin, and carried it to Ali's camp, placing her in a protected house. The moment the army of Basra saw Aisha was safe, the fighting ceased, and they began to disperse. Ali immediately commanded through a herald, "None who flee shall be pursued, and none who are wounded shall be finished off." With that, the war came to an end. Among the first to fall in the chaos were Talha ibn Ubaidullah and al-Zubayr ibn al-Awam, two of the closest companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, alongside a noble group of righteous souls. After the fighting stopped, Ali walked through the battlefield. When he came upon the body of Talha lying face down in the dust, he knelt beside him. With his own hands, he gently wiped the dirt from Talha's face, his voice trembling with grief. "O Abu Muhammad, it breaks my heart to see you fallen here in this valley, lying beneath the stars of the sky. To Allah alone I complain of my inner sorrows and my heavy burdens. If only I had died 20 years before this day." Aisha spent the rest of her life in deep regret over her departure. She wished, from the bottom of her heart, that she had never set out at all. Her grief came from the painful realization that her presence, though intended only for peace, had become the catalyst for a battle in which so many Muslims lost their lives. Later, she met Abdullah ibn Umar and told him, "If you had forbidden me from leaving, I would have listened to you," recalling how he had firmly prevented his sister Hafsa from joining. Ibn Umar replied gently, "I saw a man who had a great influence over you, al-Zubayr." He had influenced her only because he sincerely believed her presence would bring goodness and unity, and at the time, she had shared that conviction. Both had acted on what they believed was best for the people. But Allah, in His infinite wisdom, had decreed otherwise. And so, the tragedy of the camel came to its sorrowful close. All those retellings that paint the noble companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, as power-hungry politicians scheming and plotting against one another, are nothing but falsehoods that dishonor their memory. Both sides moved only to do what they believed was right. Both strove with sincerity and pure intention for the sake of justice, unity, and the people. One side was right, and Allah rewarded them for getting it right. Yet He also rewards every striving heart that sought His pleasure. Those people are all dead now. Their trial has ended, their accounts have been closed, and their judgment rests with the One who knows every secret and every noble intention. May Allah be pleased with them all, and may He unite our hearts as theirs were once united, in love for Him and His Messenger, peace be upon him.